Hello again, YouTubers and Pokemon fans. I am Jeff of TheGameCapital, and today we have another Pokemon opening / review for you. It features the new Team Up theme decks, Blastoise and Charizard. The theme deck names being Torrential Cannon and Relentless Flame. We'll get these unboxed in this video, show you all the contents, and if you want to see these decks actually in action, in battle, see how they stack up against other theme decks that are out there now, I will actually be live streaming on Twitch about an hour or two after this video goes live, twitch.tv/TheGameCapital. Jump over there and check it out. I streamed the last 2 nights as well. Right now I'm trying to stream every day just to try to get Twitch affiliate status, and then once I get to that point, I'll scale back, but have like a set streaming schedule most likely for select days. So help me reach that goal and come join me, watch me and see which deck seems to fare better. I'll probably do a tournament with each of them in game, at least one tournament with each, and some ladder games as well. So definitely come over and check it out and see how they stack up. Want to get these cracked open here, and I'll be redeeming these codes for my Pokemon TCGO account so that I can use these decks in the live streams as well. Have some more options for decks, so it doesn't get too monotonous too quickly. I do hope to do some stuff on Twitch that isn't Pokemon based as well, but right now I'm just jumping on there and getting the ball rolling and seeing where things take us. So hopefully you guys can come on over there and show your support there as well, and see how we do with these new decks in battle. All right, get this beautiful card in a sleeve. And these decks, by the way, do provide some pretty good value. You'll see in a moment here. So here is the Blastoise with the exclusive theme deck, not art, but the broken glass. Yeah, it's still what I call broken glass foil treatment. Has the ability Powerful Squall. Once during your turn before your attack, you may look at the top 6 cards of your deck and attach any number of water energy cards you find there to your Pokemon in any way you like. Shuffle the other cards back into your deck. And header tackle is 150 for 3 energy, and this Pokemon does 30 damage to itself. Now, remember right, I don't think this deck has any cards that help you heal, but there's 2 box grit in here, which you'll see in a moment, which will help you get those water energies back into the deck, so you can Powerful Squall them back out multiple times if needed. So definitely a deck that can get pretty powerful pretty quickly. And there's the code that I do not want to lose because I will need that for our live stream. There's the Blastoise coin, which, other than like the foil treatment, I think that's the same coin that came in the Battle Arena decks, Keldeo versus Rayquaza. So that part's kind of disappointing for anybody that's a Pokemon coin collector out there, but it is what it is. Let's see. What do we all have in here? Did they give us the wrong guide? Oh, no, but it's on the back. So I'll show both sides probably. So theme deck, Torrential Cannon. I'm not gonna read all this. If you really want to, go ahead and pause and you can read there, and I'll reposition it here. Playing the Torrential Cannon deck. Maybe I'll read that in the stream tonight before I actually get down to business on there, but we'll see. We'll see. I don't know what it all says on there, so I don't want to read it all right now, but if it seems worthwhile, I may be able to share that in the stream. And then here is for the Charizard one that will be opening just after this. All in the same video though. Don't worry, don't worry. And then playing the Relentless Flame deck. You'll notice a lot of the cards in each of these decks will be the same. So they have the trainers in both decks is the same. I think they both have 3 of the Farfetch'd card, for instance. They seem to do that a lot with the theme decks for the newer sets, is making them more repetitive, but not necessarily a bad thing. It helps them be more balanced. They just have, different Pokemon engines, basically. Well, some are still the same. And then here is just a sheet about the new Team Up set. If you missed them, definitely check out our past videos. We have a lot of Team Up openings on the channel already, and more still to come, most likely. And there is the full checklist, which namely does not include that secret rare Brookwood Hill. RIP. But alas, that's a thing. And then we've got a new cardboard GX tag team counter in there as well that I think matches the one that comes in the ETB. Hopefully I'll put an ETB on this channel within the next few days as well, hopefully by the end of the week. If you don't know how to play Pokemon, you want to learn how to play, best thing just right now, get an account on Pokemon Trading Card Game Online. You get like a sample trial deck type thing to use in game. Then you can do trainer battles, and it walks you through pretty well on how to play if you know nothing to start. So if you're looking to start playing Pokemon, you don't have anyone local or whatever, and you just wanna learn the rules and just casually play a little bit, jump up PTCGO, and it's a great place to start and kind of figure out what you're doing. And once you learn the ropes a bit, on some of my live streams, I'll probably be doing PTCGO at least once a week, once I'm all like set up and everything, and even get more diverse with my content. And I'll probably do trainer battles on occasion as well. So if you want a chance to battle me in a live stream, you'll want to get yourself at least a theme deck. I will hopefully end up with some standard legal decks on there as well that are actually competitive. It'll also give me some time to get stuff built up, relearn the ropes myself, get familiar with everything that's currently out there before I get too deep into it. But anyways, I'm pretty deep in the video here. I haven't shown you any cards but Blastoise yet. So I apologize. I'm a rambler. I'm sorry. So, I wish that theme decks came in like order, which they don't, but it is what it is. So, I'll show you the deck list after I run through these as well, just so you can see it again. But there's some water energies with the new style. Very nice. Farfetch, which I think there's 3 of in the deck with Collect, namely. Tool Buster is not going to really do any good, at least in the theme deck format. We got the derpy looking Squirtle. Pidgeotto, which has the ability Airmail, which is like Uxie level X back in the day. Once you're in your turn before your attack, you may look at the top 2 cards of your deck and put one of them into your hand. Put the other card on the bottom of your deck. So it gives you an extra draw each turn, and you can choose from one of 2 different cards. So it's not bad. 60 hit points isn't good, but it's not there to attack or to absorb hits. It's there to sit on your bench and gives you extra draw power. And if you're using this deck in the theme deck format on PCGO, there's only like 1 or 2 decks that have Guzma that could target Pidgeotto to bring it out active. So Pokemon aren't as big of liabilities in the theme deck format as they are in standard or expanded, basically. And there's the non-foil Blastoise. We get 2 of those in the deck, 1 foil and 1 not. It seems to be short print in the set from our experience so far anyway. Energy, there's a 50 hit point Pidgey. So it only gains 10 hit points when it evolves, which is kind of odd. One of our 2 copycats. Energy, Psyduck, my fave. Which you'll see the Golduck in a moment. Timer Ball, Broxcrit. But I didn't already say, there's at least 2 copies of every card in this deck. That is in this deck at all. So if you see it once, there's at least 1 more copy in the deck. All the trainers are 2-ofs. Nest Ball, another Farfetch'd, Wartortle with Tackle and Waterfall, 30 and 70. Grass, Pidgeot. So then it goes to 130 hit points, more than doubles. So I guess they kind of had to keep the Pidgeotto in check because of the ability. They couldn't make it 2 up on HP, so it's still an easy target. Otherwise it's perhaps too strong support or something maybe. I don't know. I'd have to look at past Pidgeot lines to see how the HP stack up. But I feel like Pidgey could be a 40 hit point, then the 60 Pidgeotto makes more sense. I think the Pidgeotto should be 70 or 80, especially with Pidgeot at 130, but oh well. We got Whirlwind for 60. Your opponent switches their active Pokemon with one of their benched Pokemon. So that's something that makes them switch, but they still choose what comes active. So not something that will make Pidgeotto a liability if you're in the mirror match, for instance. And then Spin Storm. Your opponent puts their active Pokemon and all cards attached into their hand. Oh, excuse me. So, if they have something really powerful out there, and you have nothing on the board that can take care of it, you can at least make it go away, and then hopefully be in a position where you can get some prizes on whatever else they have on the board, and win the game that way. Or maybe they only have 1 active Pokemon. It doesn't say you can't do it if it's only 1, so if they have 1 Pokemon, and you use Spin Storm, it's gone. They have no Pokemon, you win. There's a switch, 1 of 2. Golduck. This is what really did me in when I was using the Swampert deck in stream last night. So, Amnesia only does 20 damage, but you choose one of your opponent's active Pokemon's attacks, and they can't use that next turn. You may notice a lot of Pokemon only have 1 attack, including Blastoise. It has Hydro Tackle, and that's it. So if you got Blastoise going against Golduck, and Golduck uses Amnesia, well, 20 damage isn't a lot, but you say, okay, Amnesia, Hydro Tackle. You can't use it. So if you want to attack, you're going to have to find a way to switch your Pokemon from the active spot into a different one. And then Swim, which, given that I was using Swampert, a water deck, not a great matchup, because Swim does 90 for 3 energy, and if any of your opponent's Pokemon has any water energy attached to them, which I definitely did, you may do 90 damage to one of your opponent's benched Pokemon instead of their active. Yeah, in that game, I just was not getting any kind of setup whatsoever. So then, once I finally was able to find my Mudkip to try to get to Swampert, It was my only bench Pokemon. Drop the Mudkip, swim, knock out on the bench. I had no way to get multiple basics at once. If I didn't bunch the Mudkip on that turn, I only had one Pokemon, so they'd knock out my active and I'd lose then too. So now that I did raw in that match, I just did not draw into anything. I was just drawing dead and did not go great. How draws 3 cards. Another Copycat, Professor Kukui, Psyduck. I think we've already seen all of it. Okay, Cynthia. 2 Cynthias in each of these decks. Definitely gives you a lot of extra added value right there, right off the bat. Pidgey, you get 2 Pokemon fan clubs as well to help fill up that bench. Tearball, Golduck. Just gotta go in fast here because it should be all cards we've already seen now at this point. Brock's Grid, I don't know if we saw that one yet. So new art, reprint from Evolutions. One of the few cards that can actually be viable from Evolutions as far as actually playing the game goes. Basically, Evolutions is just a collector set. It never really had any sort of competitive aspects to it. Brock's Grid's been in some decks. Hitmonchan had a little bit of Glistening Hope at one point, but yeah, basically nothing in that deck really was all that relevant. Probably a few cards I've seen a little play. I think Starmie in there saw some, but not a good competitive set. We'll leave it at that. So there again is the deck list for Blastoise. If you just need to see that as well, just to help piece it all out. So you get 3/2/2 Blastoise, 3/2 Golduck, and 3/2/2 Pidgeot, and 3 Farfetch'd Pokemon. 2 each trainer, 20 energy, and if you want to read the little bio, there's a quick little paragraph for you. Yes, use Golduck's Amnesia, because it's annoying. Alright, I am a rambler. How am I at... Ugh. Maybe I'll have cropped out some of my rambling from early in the video. Maybe, because this is way longer than I anticipated. I thought this would be barely 10 minutes total. I'm way over that already. I'm sorry, I'm out of practice. I don't know when to shut up. But that's always been my problem. Never know how to shut up. But that's okay. Well, maybe. So here's Charizard. Also seems short-printed in the team-up set. At least we have not gotten very many in our 600 plus packs we've opened. 150 hit points. We got the ability Roaring Resolve. Once during your turn before your attack, you may put 2 damage counters on this Pokemon. If you do, search your deck for up to 2 fire energy cards and attach them to this Pokemon. Then shuffle your deck. Then Continuous Blaze Ball, 30 plus. Discard all fire energy from this Pokemon. This attack does 50 more damage for each used card in this way. So, to explain that, you can take 2 damage, or 20, however you want to phrase it. 2 damage counters, 20 hit points of health goes away. You search your deck for 2 fire energy and attach them to Charizard. You now enough to do Continuous Blaze Ball. You can also still attach the fire energy from your hand for the turn. So, if you have the energy available to you, you can every turn use Continuous Blaze Ball with 3 fire energies and you would do 180 damage. I'm not sure offhand for sure, but I'm not sure if there's any Pokemon in any of the theme decks with more than 180 hit points. Therefore, I think this Charizard might be able to one-hit knock out any Pokemon you could possibly face in the theme deck format. So not too shabby. The main bad thing, in my opinion, with this deck is that it's got the water weakness, and 2 of the top decks in the theme deck format right now seem to be the Blastoise deck and the Swampert deck. And you'd only need to do 80 damage to one-hit knock out the Charizard. So, while they might not knock you out in one hit, it shouldn't be too hard for you to answer back and knock out their Charizard right back and put them in a not so favorable position. So, while I'm sure it will be a good deck overall, when you face those water decks, it'll be more of a struggle naturally. And there is the Charizard coin. That might be a new coin. So I think we had a Mega Charizard in the Battle Arena deck before, so this might be a new coin. If you know that we've had this coin before, you know what product it came in, please let me know in the comments below and share that information with everybody, and would appreciate that. But still, very cool coin, even if it isn't new by chance. I like it. I like it. And then just show you once more, there's the art that you also see on the paper playmats that are included, and same on the back side, and their names. So yeah. And then we already saw all that stuff, so we can just shove that to the side and crack into this deck, and this part will be a lot faster than the Blastoise portion because a lot of these cards we've already seen, and we already looked at all the other inserts. So there's the new fire energy with the extra texture. Kind of feel like it's the Pokedex back or something, especially when it's red. But anyways, 4 fire. They're going to start with 4 water. Probably not a coincidence. We've got Ponyta. Rapidash is more important. We'll show that in a moment. Charmeleon's got Fire Feign for 30, and it burns. Timer Ball. Again, trainers in this deck, same as the other one, 2 copies of each one you see. Charmander does 70, and it does 30, but you have to discard the energy. Farfetch, 3 of those again. Copycat. Switch. Nidoran. So yes, the Nidoqueen line is in this as well. It is in place of the Pidgeot line. It's basically the comparative equal. So Nidoran female has Call for Family. Search your deck for a basic Pokemon and put it onto your bench, then shuffle your deck. And again, there's 2 Pokemon fan clubs in here as well, so lots of ways for you to get your bench going. Train's coming. I don't know if you can hear the horn in there, but if you hear a horn, it's a train that runs by our warehouse. But yeah. Charizard, the non-foil version, does the same as the other one, just isn't shiny. Rapidash. Definitely seemed very strong in pre-release. I actually talked about this card in our pre-release kit opening, where I actually made a deck using a kit to show you how that works. So it's got agility. Well, it's got Searing Flame as well for 20, and it burns. And then agility does only 60, but if you flip a coin and get heads, you prevent all effects of attacks, including damage, done to this Pokemon during your opponent's next turn. So if you're really good at flipping heads, you can make it so your opponent just can't touch you. For them to be able to do an attack if you constantly get heads, which obviously isn't realistic. But let's say that I can get heads every time, 100%. The only way your opponent's gonna ever lay an attack on you is if they have an escape rope that makes you switch Pokemon, or a Guzma. Or I guess the Pidgeot. I don't know. Basically, agility is a very nice effect in a limited format, like pre-release or a theme deck format. 60 damage, not super impressive, but if you pair that in a turn we use Kukui to get that up to 80 damage, it's going to take care of most things that aren't stage 2s anyway. So, definitely a viable Pokemon in the theme deck battles as well. And we got Nidorina, Family Rescue. Shuffle 5 Psychic Pokemon from your discard pile into your deck. Not super viable, at least in this format, because it's the only line of Psychic in the deck. So, unless you've already had a Nidoqueen out and got knocked out, it's a way to get it back in the deck. But if you have to use Family Rescue as an attack during the game, things probably aren't going great for you. So, it's not a relevant attack, basically what I'm getting at. You don't want to use it. If you have to use it, you're going to lose anyway, most likely. And then Bite, 2 for 30, not impressive. Nothing's impressive until we get to the Nidoqueen, which we'll see probably pretty soon here. Nest Ball, Ponyta, Brock's Grit, Energy. Alright, Nidoqueen has the ability. Let's get up and close here. Queen's Call. Once during your turn before your attack, you may search your deck for a Pokemon that isn't a Pokemon GX or Pokemon EX. Reveal it and put it into your hand, and then shuffle your deck. So, it's kind of like a balanced smooth over, you could say. So Macargo has smooth over, which isn't in these decks, but it's in the deck I'm currently using on PCGO. You search your deck for any card, put it on top of your deck, and then if you use Swamp's ability to draw cards, or you play a How, or anything that draws cards, you get any cards you want, basically. But you have to do something that allows you to draw the card, or you put it on top and draw it to start your next turn. Whereas the Nidoqueen here, it puts the card straight in your hand, but it has to be a Pokemon that isn't EX or GX. So basically, any Pokemon in the deck it's in this theme deck format, because there are no EX or GX in these decks. And then Power Lariat does only 10 damage, plus this is 50 more damage for each evolution Pokemon on your bench. So Nidoqueen can hit hard, okay? So you've got the Rapidashes, Charmeleons, Charizards, Nidorinas, Nidoqueens. Not too hard if you have 3 evolutions on your bench, especially with Queen's Call, letting you just fish out Pokemon for Pokemon from your deck to get set up. So, basically both of these cards can pretty easily one-hit knock out anything in theme deck format, at least. So, 3 evolutions, you do 160 with the Nidoqueen. Use a Kukui that turn, you do 180. If you got 4 evolutions, you're doing 210 base. You're knocking things out. And Psychic Week, other than our Nidoqueens, there's not going to be too much Psychic relevant stuff, I don't think. There is Naganadel in the Raikou deck, I believe. That I think hits for 80, and it does 160 if you have exactly 3 prizes left when attacking. So that'll one-hit knock out Nidoqueen. So I guess Raikou might not be a great matchup for this deck because of the Naganadel and the Nidoqueen, but still. Yeah, so that's Nidoqueen. We got Pokemon Fan Club, Energy, Copycat Energy, Charmeleon Energy, Nidoran, Charmander, Cynthia. Should be everything we've seen now. Kukui, either in this deck or the other deck. So basically that should wrap up here what you get in these theme decks. So hopefully you found this helpful, beneficial in some way if you're curious about what is in these theme decks and how the theme decks work. And if you want to see these theme decks in action, join me over at twitch.tv/TheGameCapital. This video is probably going live about 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Eastern. I should be live streaming on Twitch about 1 or 2 hours after this video goes live. And I'll be streaming for probably 2 to 3 hours. And I will be using probably these 2 theme decks exclusively. I'll do some ladder matches. I'll do at least 1 tournament with each of these as well. See if we can earn ourselves some packs. And then open some of those virtual packs towards the end of the stream as well. If there's people joining and checking things out and want to see some packs get opened. So, that'll do it for this video. I'm sorry it ran longer than I intended. I am quite the talker. My apologies. Hopefully you found it useful. If you did, or if you just like what we do and you want to see more, make sure you subscribe if you're not already. Rock smash the like button. Visit TheGameCapital.com where you can see our current availability of Pokemon singles. It's not our full selection. We do have a lot in store that's not on our website. But for those not local, check our website for what we have available for you guys that aren't local. And we also have Yu-Gi-Oh! And Magic and Card Fight on there and all sorts of good stuff. So check it out. And again, join me on twitch.tv/TheGameCapital. I'll be streaming multiple times a week, every day for the next few days, best I can. And we'll see where things take us there. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time for our next video, or over on Twitch in just a little bit.